Hola everybody, Brendan here, Dad Planet, another What's Sold on eBay video coming to you. This is for the week of July 15th through 21st. This year, not like last year. Last year was crazy, and this year, not so much. A little bit slower, but 15 more bolos. I'm excited to show them to you regardless, so let's just get into it. Okay, the ship is sinking, ladies and gentlemen. July has been a rough month. So last year, I had my best month of all time, July 15th through the 21st, or this time frame. I'll actually link that video in the description so you can see it, because there are a lot of amazing bolos in there. And, you know, maybe some of you that haven't been following me as long haven't had a chance to see that. Always a good whatever to see it over, because there were a lot of strong bolos in that video. A lot in this one too, just God, my sales are so weak. Anyway, let's get into it. Vintage marble bookends, made in Italy, 225. I'm going to show you some of the pictures up close because they were not in perfect condition. This style and this type does well. So, but you can see like there's like, you know, scuff marks here and whatnot, and on the bottoms. They weren't perfect by any means, so I tried to take as clear of pictures as I possibly could. These were purchased at Higbee's, for those of you that remember the franchise. That is a Higbee's sticker there. I don't know if that was just a local thing, like for Ohio, or if it was a regional thing or national thing. I'm not entirely sure. But these were a nice sale. I only paid $4.99 for them, and they sold for $42.49 with $19.70 in shipping. So the buyer $62.19 all in. That was a nice sale. Next one here. Tilly hat. This is a bolo, so I'm going to take you through some of these pictures as well. You'll notice, I think this is what took it so long to, or just as long, not that it was like a long drawn out process to get it sold, but there's, you know, stains here, and you can wash these hats to get that sweat stain out, but this one looked pretty prominent, so I had to disclose that, make sure that the buyer was aware of it, took all of the pictures that were necessary, and it still sold for a great price. So I had it listed for $39.99, and I sold it for $33.99 with $3.99 in shipping. So buyer is $37.98 all in. I found this at the bins, so we're going to say in between 50 cents and $1, because it was rather lightweight. This was a good find, and it's a bolo. Keep your eye out for Tilly hats. Next one. Now, I bought these at a garage sale, and I'm really very satisfied with getting $35 for them. So Chaco shoes. Now they're sandals. For those of you that are not aware, those are definitely a bolo, a big bolo. They're a little bit on the heavier side. The soles are kind of heavy. They're strong, they're sturdy, they're well built. The shoes I don't really know a ton about, so this didn't have a whole lot of like good comparable data, but I was at a garage sale. I felt like, you know, I want to get paid for my time, so I spent $5 on these, and they sold for $35. I mean, you really can't beat that. Just your basic canvas sneakers. They took a month or two to sell, and the buyer paid $11.10 in shipping, so they're $46.09 all in. For $5 on a one-time deal, like trying to make the most of the garage sales that I was going to, wonderful sales. So if there are comps on the screen, I will put them up there for you. But yeah, keep your eye out for the Chaco brand, the sandals first and foremost, and everything else kind of follows after that. Next one, I got a huge lot of Barbie Dolls. And we're talking old school, like super vintage, like early 80s, some in the 70s. This was I got it on Facebook Marketplace for free, just this big lot of stuff. Had some Bratz dolls with it, had some of these vehicles. I have the white Ferrari in addition to the red one. The red one sold here. This was from 1986. And I will take you through some of the pictures again, like a little bit of, you know, touching up needed to be done. Definitely in played with condition. Did not have side mirrors, but still sold for full price, I think, $24.99 with $23.07 in shipping. So the buyer is $48.06 all in for this car, and they have already left me positive feedback. So somebody really wanted this vehicle, even in the condition it was in. Yeti Rambler. This is a discontinued color, and I believe a discontinued style. So this is a 36 ounce. And the color is Canyon Red. Now, it was marked $1.99 at a Goodwill, probably because it was missing the lid. It had a dent right here at the top, so I disclosed that. Everything else about this was fine, but I like the fact that it was discontinued. That always helps for resale. And if I had the lid, I think this probably could have sold for around $80 to $90, but because it didn't have the lid, and I mean, look at the product ratings for this. So still got, did I get full price for it? No, I took an offer of $40 with $3.99 in shipping. I mean, on $2 though, that's great. So $43.99. I actually, now that I'm looking at that, this thing was about 2 pounds. So I lost a little bit of money on shipping. And that is just an error that I caught it at the time when I was shipping it, but I had forgotten about it until now. For some reason, like it always defaults to the last thing you did, and I'm still trying to get used to that when you're trying to like sort your shipping. Usually it's always a default, but for whatever reason it keeps just defaulting to the one you've done previously, which is getting super annoying. So this is like the third or fourth time that I've screwed that shipping up. But anyway, they paid $3.99 in shipping, so they are $43.99 all in, $1.99. Yeti, you know the drill. Good bolo. We'll move on to the next one. It's an overhead projector. This thing was in mint condition. It came with an extra lamp. You can see right there. This thing worked flawlessly, and I didn't have a scratch on it. So got it sold. It is a Apollo model 15,000, and it sold for full price and went overseas. So they paid $35 in shipping pre-customs. So they're $104.99 all in. It cost me $6.99. I debated in the store whether I should pick this up or not, but you know what? The sales data said grab it, and it'll eventually sell. And it eventually sold. So $70 on that. Real nice. Look up those old overhead projectors. This is not the first one that I've sold, so there's a pattern there. You know, these things are still in demand in certain situations. Do we have any teachers or anybody in education that follows me? Let me know in the comments if you're using these or who's currently using them, because again, I've been in the workforce for so long, I'm not really sure who's using what. But if you know, if you've got a lead, let me know in the comments what they're being used in what scenarios. So next one. I got a lot of vintage My Little Ponies. I think there were 3 bags. I paid $5 each bag. So I paid $15 for these guys, girls. And so I'm maybe 50 cents into this one here. It's like the second or the third one that I've sold, and I've been really lazy about listing some of the rest of them. I have a couple listed, but I still have a lot of them to list. I don't know why some things just sit around like they do. But anyway, this is Pretty Vision. She's a first generation from 1984. Again, a little bit dirty, and this Goo Gone will clean this as well. And I did have my daughter straighten the hair out a little bit, so that was nice. And she ended up selling for, there's the 1984 Hasbro, you can see right there, Hong Kong. It ended up selling for $33.99 with $3.99 shipping, so they're $37.98 all in. Again, 50 cents. First generation My Little Ponies. I just sold one recently for $100. That was flocked. You guys saw that in one of my previous videos. That they sell so well. So, and I'm picking up a lot more vintage. I've been on the hunt for things that are older for 20 years. So I'll have a lot more vintage sales coming too. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because you will see more of that as we go along. I will move on to the next one. I think I'm the only one in the YouTubeosphere that's still talking about Beyblades. It's a smoking hot bolo. Get on it. This is another one that I just sold. I took an offer of $59.49 with $3.99 in shipping. This also went overseas. So the buyer is $63.48 all in. I bought this at a garage sale for $2. And I haven't seen Beyblades in a thrift store in a while. I'll probably hit the garage sales this weekend, so hopefully some of them will turn up there. But Beyblades is hot. That market is hot right now, so get on that. We'll move on to the next one. Childhood hero of mine, Optimus Prime, Transformers Titans Return, the Power Master Optimus Prime. I could hardly transform this thing. It just shows you how old I am. So it wasn't exactly put together there, but it was complete, and it is a bolo, especially for new. You'll get double the price new if you can get this in a box. I ended up taking a offer of $29.74 with $11.10 in shipping for this one. So $40.84. The buyer is all in. It cost me $4.99 at a Goodwill, and this buyer has also already left me positive feedback. Again, in demand, was not missing pieces. These 2 parts come apart, those 2 guns, the one on the shoulder and the one he's holding, and on the side here as well. So if you get it all together, you'll make some money. Funko has discontinued, as far as I know, this set. So we have Pennywise, we have Beverly, and we have Ben from the movie It here. This is like the psycho face Pennywise. There are a couple of iterations of this that have the same UPC code on it, but the people inside are different. Like one of them's got Georgie, the yellow raincoat and the balloon. But this one, so I sold this, I took an offer of $38.24. It sold very, very fast. $3.99 in shipping. So the buyer is $42.23 all in. It only cost me $3.99. But if you find something like this, one of these It packs from Funko, and you're willing to hold it until Christmas, I think you can get up to $100 for it. So I'm pretty sure that I maybe saw some of them sell for $100. The box condition was a little bit iffy. And even with Halloween coming up, I was okay with the $39 on 4, but trust me when I tell you, if you can wait long enough and you find something similar or the same, it's going to get you $100 from October to December. So keep that in mind. We'll move on to the next one. I bought a stack of receivers and whatnot from a church that looked like they were closing down. I got 7 of them for $150, so they were what, like $20, $25 each. This one I took an offer on and got $135.99 for it with $14.32 in shipping. So the buyer is $150.31 all in. I know absolutely nothing about this other than there were comparable sales data to back up the purchase that I was making, and that's all the information I needed. No, I was not able to fully test this, and yes, I actually did disclose that the buyer had a question for me, so I made sure that I answered it to the best of my knowledge. Now, I was able to see these things plugged in and operating when I was at the church, so okay, it worked as far as my eyes could see, but not every function was tested, but it looked like they were all working, so I'm sure this buyer is satisfied. We'll move on to the next one. This is another one I don't know anything about. Touch of Gold, spring forward. Let me look at the pictures again because it's been a while since I sourced this, but I got $150 with $3.99 in shipping for it. So the buyer is $153.98 all in, and it cost me $1.99. So Shroom-a-rama on the front, and you can see the screen print is fading, pretty considerably at this point. Little hole that never matters. Touch of Gold by Spring Forward. That's a tag that this is the only time I've ever seen that tag, so I'm not real familiar with it. And let's look at the back. Shroom-a-rama, you weren't there, but I saw you anyway. It must have been something I ate. I don't know what this is, and I didn't look. If I remember correct, I thought I saw a comparable sale for a shirt either similar or the same when I was listing this or when I was sourcing it. But that was so long ago, I can hardly remember, and I didn't do any homework on it before I recorded this video to educate you, so I'm not really sure. So if you have the gumption to go look this up on your own, bit more power to you. But I got $150 for it, and I'm super satisfied. So great sale, vintage t-shirts, tie-dye. I mean, the drug references or whatever, like getting high. I mean, it just all made sense. So almost like a Grateful Dead type of shirt, and maybe it does have something to do with that. I don't know. All right, next one. 'Tis the season. The best time to start listing Halloween items was yesterday. The second best time is today. So get your stuff on the market because it's selling fast. So I bought this in a lot of a bunch of Halloween related items for $40 off of a lady on Facebook Marketplace. I've like more than quadrupled my money at this point. This one was just the icing on the cake. It is Dr. Shivers. The microphone didn't work like really well, but I could hear my voice coming through as I was testing it, but everything else worked. All the other functions worked, and I got full price for it, $19.99 with $24.36 in shipping. So buyer is $144.35 all in. Again, it cost me $40. This buyer has also left me positive feedback. I shipped it very carefully. These things, like these spirit balls, the comps will be on the screen. They're a bolo, but it is go time for Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. So get that stuff rocking and rolling. Is anybody here as big of a Halloween fan as I am? Like, it's a huge holiday for me. Like, it's a big celebration. Like, especially my household. Let me know in the comments if you are like as crazy about Halloween or what you're looking most forward to with fall coming up in general, because there's just so many things that really resonate with me regarding fall season and Halloween and whatever. I just have really good childhood memories. I'm babbling. We'll move on to the next one. Been a while since I've had a vacuum in one of my bolo videos, right? Electrolux is a good brand. It's a bolo brand. Look it up for sure. This is model EL4071. I think this is either the second or the third one of these iterations of vacuums that I've sold. So I know they're a bolo. I know they sell well. This one took a little bit of time to sell, but I did get full price for it. $100 was $17.77 in shipping. So the buyer is $117.76 all in. I do not remember for the life of me what I paid for this or where I even got it. I'm fairly certain that this came from a Goodwill. So I'm going to say it was no more than $10. It could have been as low as $5, but I don't remember. So can't help you there, but it's a bolo, good one, the orange version. And yeah, very easy to break down and ship. I shipped this in a 24 by 18 by 12 box. I was able to really make it compact with the way this thing broke down. So pretty easy, and that's the reason it only costs 18 bucks to ship. So last one, we have an Ikea close to us here, so it's like just a few miles away from where I live here in Columbus, Ohio, which is nice because there's not a lot of physical Ikea locations. But boy, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of their stuff that people can't get because of their lack of physical stores. And this one is no exception. So this was a king size. There weren't a whole lot of duvet cover and pillowcase sets that came in the king size that I could find comps for this like blue floral pattern. So I kind of had to guess on my price, and I got $100 really quick for it. So Rosen Rips, probably not the way you pronounce it, but it's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Sold fast. I paid 10 bucks for it, and I got $100 for it. So $11.50 they paid in shipping. So they're $111.49 all in, pre-tax. And this is a bolo for the pattern, right? This blue floral pattern. It sells well in the queen size. It sells well in the full size. But I didn't see any comps on either Terapeak or just the regular eBay search for king size. So I had to take a shot at it, and I'm glad I did because it sold really, really fast. $100, 15 bolos, bam! That's all I got for you. You guys are going to see me get this listed here any minute now. I just found this at a garage sale, and we're going to try to get $50 for it. I just paid $5 for it, but get that Halloween stuff listed, and let me know in the comments what you are most looking forward to for autumn and Halloween season coming up. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a like if you liked what you saw, if you learned something, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are not already subscribed. I am out. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.